Hello, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving. Let me just take this off. Oh, how's that? No, that's not good. I'm in my office, so I can take it completely off for a few minutes. Oh, that's much better. Last week I missed coming here and speaking to you. Things just got a little bit crazy. The week before that, I came and I spoke to you about everything that was happening in our country and trying to heal the divide in our nation. And I talked about trying to heal our relationships to heal that divide. And I said we could heal those relationships one at a time, didn't I? And now here we are at Thanksgiving. And there's this big push in our country to not go and see our families. As a healthcare worker, I want to thank those of you who are staying home and not visiting family. But as a human being, I hurt for that. And those of you who are going ahead and visiting family, or who are going out and having Thanksgiving at a restaurant and supporting small restaurants, I understand. I really do. This is a very, very difficult time for many people. Now, for me as a healthcare worker, I can honestly say that it's not that different. Every year, I have to work either Thanksgiving or Christmas. And I don't really get to choose. I work one or the other. We have people in the hospital that we have to take care of. We have to provide a service to them. We have to make sure that they're safe and well cared for. And so every year, I miss out on the family celebration at either Christmas or Thanksgiving. Some years both. And that's how it is for all of our healthcare workers. And I'm not saying that to get your sympathy. I'm just saying that for me, it's not that much different. The difference this year was in the shopping and trying to get things done. And so I cooked Thanksgiving for my son and I. I cooked most of it yesterday and got up and did part of it this morning before coming to the hospital, and then realized I still didn't get all of it done. And I'm going to have to go back, and it's going to be a scramble when I get home. But we'll manage. Tell me about your relationships. Comment which. Hi, Becky. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Cassie sent me a message this morning wishing me the same thing. My love to you and your family. You guys still mean so much to me. Oh, thank you for that. Becky sends me this today, and it really means a lot to me. She and her sister were patients of mine, and her sister reached out and sent me a happy Thanksgiving message already today. And it's little things like that get me through, So what I was going to ask is, what are the most important relationships in your life right now? They're family, right? There are brothers and sisters, our parents, if they're still around, and our children. Do you have children? I know Becky has children. Hi, Terry. Thank you. Are you working today? I'm thinking of you too. Our children are often our most important relationships in our life. And how do you bond with your children? The way you bond with them when they're little may not be the same as how you bond with them when they're older, right? When my kids were little, we read a lot. I read to them, they read to me. As they got older, they continued to read to me. Books on tape weren't really great things for us to do in the car, so they would read to me in the car because our cassette player in the car didn't work that well. We took a cassette player with us, but sometimes the road trips were so cold that the batteries wouldn't work. And now we have all these things that you can do with audio programs. And so my son and I will listen to audio programs in the car together on long road trips, and that's fantastic. My daughter, not so much. But we did other activities when they were little, things that weren't quite as sedentary. And you know me, I'm an adrenaline junkie. Anything that gets my blood pumping is really, that's what I like. I've yet to jump out of a perfectly good airplane, but I have spent birthdays at amusement parks, um, riding all the roller coasters. Thank you, Cindy. Much love to you too. Um, I like driving fast. I like skiing. I like riding Harleys. And when my son wanted to go hiking on an active volcano, I was like, oh yeah, that was a fantastic day for me. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Eric. Um, and so it was a real bonding experience for me when he wanted to do something high adrenaline. It really made my heart sing. That was fantastic for me. My daughter, she also did things that got my heart pumping, although not always in a good way. When she was younger, she was always testing my limits. And that got better as she got older. But she was also the one that was really into hiking and loved travel, and she was into bling. And so we bonded that way. Um, when I went through the bank teaching, the bank methodology is something I've talked about a lot in my lives. When I went through the bank teaching, I learned that my primary code was action. And that wasn't really a surprise to me. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Allie. Thank you. Are you working today? I hope not. I hope you get to spend some time with family. Anyway, when I went through the bank teaching, I learned that I was action. Wasn't really a surprise to me. Action personalities like spontaneity and fun and action and bling. And hey, I drive a convertible. That's pretty bling, right? I like traveling and staying in 4 and 5 star hotels. Also bling. And my kids, they seem to like stimulating activities. And from that information, I thought they were pretty action too. I mean, my son wanted to hike an active volcano, for crying out loud, right? My daughter shaved her head for attention when she was in high school. That's pretty action too. I felt comfortable that I had this nailed down. I thought that their primary code was action like mine, right? And then I cracked their codes. Boy, was I wrong. My kids both have the same code. Oh, Allie, I'm sorry you're working tonight, but give my thoughts and prayers to everybody at the hospital. I hope it's not too bad. I really do. Anyway, my kids both have the same code. And it's not at all what I thought it was. Their primary code is nurturing. They're into relationships and teamwork and harmony. And action is actually their third code. And their third code, anybody's third code is their stress code. So action is what they go into when they're stressed. That means that when my son was when my son was asking me to go hike an active volcano, he was doing it to be a team player. He was trying to bond with me. He was doing his nurturing thing. It also means that when my daughter was doing all that acting out and rule breaking, she was stressed. And I didn't see that. I didn't acknowledge her. Worse, I may have been putting her in stress or at least contributing to it. Looking back even further, my son was always the peacekeeper in the family. Even as a toddler, he was the one who was always going out of his way to stop arguments and make sure that everyone was getting along. It was like a magic gift he had. It was his superpower. And I may have somehow submerged that by putting him in stress all the time as he got older. My daughter is actually my stepdaughter, and she came to me with a lot of issues that weren't her fault. They were totally out of her control. And she was too young to have the tools to deal with these problems. And so it shouldn't have been any surprise to me that she was in stress all the time. So there are a number of questions. And one of them is, how well do you know your family? If you had a tool like this where you could get to know your family better, would you use it? And another question is, how is this information best used? For example, now that I know this about my children, what do I do with this information? Is it just a nice parlor trick, or is it something that's actually useful for something? And the answer is when I learned it about my children, when I learned about my relationship with them and how I'd been communicating with them, I felt that I'd failed them. I felt that I was a bad parent. They were in stress and I hadn't helped them with that. And now that I know this, I can spot when they're in stress. I can actually see when they're going into stress. And now that I know what I know about the codes, I can help bring them out of stress. I can speak to them in the values of their first and second codes, and I can use those value words, and I can do value things based on their first and second codes that bring them out of stress. And it works. You see, they're both nurturing. And if I talk to them in nurturing values, I can bring them out of stress. The values are the language. And I mentioned some of these values earlier. They're things like relationships, teamwork, and harmony. And I can do something special for them in that code, but it often works faster to speak to them in the words that make them feel valued. It works. And it quickly brings them out of stress and de-escalates whatever situation we're in. They feel acknowledged. Do you like to feel acknowledged? Who doesn't? It's important. My children are now using these techniques. My son uses them with his online friends to de-escalate situations and to help some of his friends with their depression. And it's amazing. I'm so impressed with that. My daughter is actually becoming a trainer in this methodology. And this same technique can work for you, with your family, with your neighbors, with your Facebook friends and your coworkers. And this is how I propose that we heal the divide in our nation that currently exists. And this is why I say that we can heal this divide one relationship at a time. This is what we teach in our Codebreaker Summits, and we do a much deeper dive in our Signature Leadership Series. However, if you just want to get your toes wet, I have a special offer for you. It's really special. It doesn't come along very often. You see, it's a Black Friday, Cyber Monday special. Yeah, I know, I'm doing it. I'm using Facebook Live to talk sales. But hold on, hang in there with me. We're offering any of our 3 digital subscriptions for just $1. Now, these things usually go for $29, $59, or $99, and we're offering them for just $1 for the first month. And I know that's going to turn some people off that I'm talking about sales, but it's $1 per month to kick the tires and see if this is going to work for you in your family or in your business. And it's $1 to see if it can make you a better spouse or a better parent. It's $1 to see if it can put you on the path to becoming a better leader. This is the same system and the same secrets that increase your emotional intelligence. No tricks. It's a monthly subscription. If you like it, you keep it at the regular rate. If you don't like it, you can cancel it anytime. You are in complete control. Here's the second special. The online digital version of the book, Why They Buy, is being offered at half price. That's $9.99 for the book with all the triggers and tripwires for increasing your influence. Why would I do this? I already told you. I want to see us, all of us, heal our relationships. I really believe this is going to be key over the next few months. And if I can take away any financial barriers, I will. In addition to this, I'm throwing in some bonuses of my own. Yeah, you heard that right. I'm throwing in some additional free stuff like icing on the cake. So just in case a $99 subscription for $1 wasn't enough, I'm going to show you how to best use it. That's right. I'm going to gift you a free onboarding call. That's a one-on-one onboarding call with me to talk about how to best use this in your own family, or if you want, in your business. How's that? You're also going to be invited to come to our weekly and ongoing implementation calls. That's so hard to say. Implementation calls to make sure you understand how to use the tools, the training, and the technology that you've just gotten your hands on. I mean, after all, what good is it if you don't really understand how to use it, right? I hold these weekly implementation calls just so people understand how to use this stuff. So if you take advantage of this trial, you'll automatically be eligible to come to these implementation calls. You'll get your questions answered, but you also get to listen to the questions of anybody else that's there and hear their questions and the answers to their questions. You get to see me demonstrate and re-demonstrate the tools, the technology, and the training of this value-based system. You get to see the secrets of the system, and you'll be able to fully use them to your advantage. If you want to be successful I want you to be successful in your endeavors, and that's how you do it. I mean, when was the last time you purchased something and someone walked you through exactly how to use it? I don't mean some online forum where other users posted their best guess. I mean, I'm going to personally show you how to best use this methodology. And does it work? Well, we've had an awful lot of people say that this saved their marriage. Not one or two people, but we've had hundreds of people come to us and say, this saved their marriage. Hundreds of people have come to us and say this made them a better parent. So this is my Christmas present from me to you. What do you think? Please let me know. And do, by all means, have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. I love all of you. I wish I could be there with you. Bye-bye.